Hi everybody, this is Melissa and you're watching Melissa Explains It All. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can already tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the absolute best little bits and pieces that I've been using throughout the past 17 months since my son was born, and I'm not including big things like the swing or the pack and play, anything like that. These are just little sort of random odds and ends that I have found really useful for baby. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. So the very first thing that I have to mention is a swaddle blanket. I think we all know that most babies, or if maybe all babies, most babies really enjoy being swaddled, especially when they're newborns, because they feel secure and safe. When they were in the womb, they were really just tightly wound in there and all cuddled up and warm. So that's part of the reason why they say it's really good to swaddle the baby. But if you swaddle just using like a traditional blanket, you know, they're more prone to like wiggle their way out of there, and as they're sleeping throughout the day, they're gonna wake themselves up, especially when they're really tiny and they kind of have those reflexes that wake them up. So anyway, a friend of mine told me about these swaddle blankets, and they sell them at Babies R Us. You can find them in Ross and Marshalls as well. And I really liked this one. It's called Swaddle Me. And it's kind of hard to show you since my son is over a year old now, so I can't really demonstrate it. But if you see here in the back, you'll see you place the baby inside and you tuck one end in behind him real tight and then the other one over, and it's got Velcro. And especially when they're really tiny, they can't really budge out of that. And so you can pack him up or her up in there real good, and they'll just be really nice and comfy, and they won't wake themselves up while they're napping throughout the day or night. So this, I mean, I have to say is like the number one thing. If I were to put a number one thing that helped me the most with baby, especially when he was a newborn, it would have to be these Swaddle Me blankets. The number two item, and an actual order, the number two item that I found to be a total and complete lifesaver was actually white noise. So I learned about the beauty of white noise through one of the mommy forums that I was in. A lot of the ladies were talking about how some of the kids or some of the babies weren't sleeping very well, whether it was throughout the day or at night. And a lot of the mommies suggested trying white noise, and it was a total godsend. Whenever my son would get kind of cranky and I knew that, you know, he was fine, he had already eaten, he had a fresh diaper, and he was just a little cranky and needed that comfort, you know, needed some kind of comfort, I would swaddle him in the blanket and I would play white noise for him. And as soon as I would turn on the white noise, he would just completely stop. So by white noise, what I would usually do was two things. Downstairs, I have my TV. It's connected to the Xbox, so I can put on YouTube, and I would just search on YouTube white noise, and there was a vacuum cleaner video that was like an hour long, and I would play that at a pretty good volume, and as soon as he'd hear that, he would stop crying. The other thing that I would do at night when he would sleep, I have an extra cell phone. This is my cell phone, but I have an old one, my iPhone 5S, that is no longer in use. And currently, right now in his room, that phone is playing white noise from Spotify. So I just open up my Spotify app, search for white noise, I play the ocean, and he sleeps the whole night through with the white noise. So again, that would be my number two thing. Number one, the swaddle blanket. Number two, the white noise. Whenever he was just a little cranky and fussy and I knew nothing was really wrong with him, those two things just did absolute wonders to get him to sleep. So now from here on out, the rest of the things I don't really have in order, in any particular order. I'm just sharing with you the rest of the items that I found really helpful that I would totally recommend. Here we have a pack by Little Remedies, and I learned about this through the nurse at my obstetrician's office. My husband and I went to the labor and delivery class, and one of the things in the packet that they gave us was a recommendation for this product, and this is only sold at Babies R Us. Right now I have a bunch of stuff in here that didn't come with it originally. So I'll try to find pictures of it and I'll pop it up so you can see what comes in it originally. But to give you an idea, it comes with medications that are safe for infants on one side, and then on the other side it has like the syringes that, you know, are safe for babies so that they can ingest the medication. And I believe it also came with the aspirator to take out, you know, the mucus or the boogers that they would get from time to time. And actually the one that came in here, because those things, some of them are not good and some of them are good, the one that came in here was, I think, the best one that I've used. So definitely recommend this. It has things like gripe water. I took out some things and I added some things, so I'll just tell you what I know came in here. I know that there was gripe water in here. That was one of the things, and this is an herbal supplement with ginger and fennel, and it's supposed to be good for colic and hiccups. It comes with acetaminophen as well, so for fever and pain relief as well. So you want to make sure you give them the correct dosage. You read and you ask your doctor or the pediatrician what's the best thing. It comes with gas relief drops as well. And there were a couple other things in here that I think I took out and I don't know where I put it. But anyway, overall this is really handy dandy. And as you can see, like, I've adjusted it for what I need and for what Joey needs. So I have an Advil in here because my pediatrician said it was safe to give him Advil. I have an all-natural cough syrup for when he was sick. I have on the other side I put a multivitamin by Infamil in here that I gave him when he was sick too, and I had just transitioned him from formula to milk, and I was a little nervous that he just wasn't getting all the nutrients that he needed and he was sick, so I bought the multivitamin supplement. I have a saline mist and I have one of the syringes. Oh, and I also have the teething gel in there as well. So anyway, everything that comes in here is really good, but you can also use the packaging itself is really good to keep medications, and I take this whole thing with me every time we go on a trip. I bring this with me, so highly recommend this. Another item that I highly recommend are these bowls that actually have suction at the bottom. I started letting my son sort of feed himself in practice really young. So obviously he's gonna make a mess and the bowl's gonna go flying and that whole thing. So having the suction bowls is pretty helpful. It doesn't mean they're 100% foolproof. It's not total and complete suction that it won't budge. But I have noticed that if I sort of pour a little bit of water on the surface where I'm going to place this and then stick the bottom part right on there, it does a really good job of staying there. So that's something I would totally recommend as well. And I sell these at Babies R Us, and I think I've also seen them at Ross and Marshalls too. So sometimes you might get them for less there. So these are great. It comes with 3. Another item that I would add to the list are these sort of snack containers. Now I have 2 options here because this one is a little bit harder to find. I got this at Babies R Us a few weeks ago, or maybe about a month or 2 ago. And I like that this one has an actual lid. So baby can stick his hand in there, grab a Cheerio. These are Trader Joe's, but grab, you know, a cookie, whatever it is that you have in here, feed himself. And then you can actually close this and keep it in your diaper bag and just, you know, leave it in there until you're gonna go out again, and they won't get soggy or anything like that. These are really good too, but again, you know, what's in there is gonna be exposed to air and they're gonna get kind of soggy over time, or, you know, over a day. So these are good. They're easy to find. I always see these at Babies R Us, but I like this one a little bit better. And also, to be honest with you, you know, pros and cons. This is good so that they don't make a total mess where they are, but they're still gonna make a mess. So, you know, when they stick their hand in here, 2 or 3 might come flying out. And the same thing happens with this one as well. So it's better than nothing, but, you know, it's not 100% foolproof, just so you know. The next thing that I wanted to show you, I actually don't have any more of, so I'll see if I can pop up a picture on the screen to show you, but they are the Arm & Hammer diaper disposable sort of bags. I've talked about these before, and they're really good. You can just yank out, tear off one. If he has or she has a poopy, really stinky diaper and you're somewhere public, maybe at a friend or a family member's house, and you don't want to stink up the house, you can go ahead and wrap up the diaper inside that, and they're scented, so you don't smell anything at all whatsoever. They're actually really good. So I still buy those, and I think they're awesome. Even for here in the house sometimes. The diaper genie, I don't really use it, to be honest with you. I have a 2-story house, so I have the diaper genie in his room, and downstairs I just toss his diaper in the trash. So using those little bags are just helpful if you really just don't want your house to stink. So I'm gonna tell you a little story, reference the next item. This is Aquaphor. This is the healing ointment, and this is, it says advanced therapy for dry, chapped, or irritated skin. Relieves diaper rash within 6 hours. Pediatrician recommended, etc, etc, etc. I really like this. I highly recommend it. The only time that my son has had any kind of a diaper rash issue was when I switched baby wipes, and long story short, he had a really bad rash. And it wasn't even a rash, it was his skin was peeling off of his bum. And poor thing, I mean, he didn't even act like he was in pain, but when you looked at it, it looked pretty bad. And the doctor, the pediatrician recommended triple paste, but when I showed them this one that I had, which is actually like a really thick cream, they said that this is actually perfect for what he would need, because it would create that barrier so that he wasn't always wet in that area when he would, you know, pee or poop or anything like that, and it would protect his skin. So this was great. And aside from this, the only other one that I've tried is Desitin, which is supposed to be, you know, really good and very highly recommended, but I feel like the Desitin just made his situation worse, and this was the only thing that helped. So I don't know, I think if I was a new mom, I would probably have a little bit of each of them just in case, because when you see that your baby has a little situation down there, you feel kind of bad. So I had to hustle to like find this, and you know, it was a little bit of an issue. So anyway, thinking back, for the next, if I have another one, I'm just gonna have like all the diaper rash creams. Probably sounds crazy, but whatever. So the next thing that I would recommend is Pampers, brand Pampers or diapers. So let me put this down. The reason why I recommend Pampers is because, I don't know, I just think that they're really great, good quality diapers. I've never really had an issue with leaks, nothing excessive, only when it's time to transition from one size to the next have I ever had an issue with that. And even though they're expensive, I remember when I would look at the forums, I had to stop after a while, but when I would look at the forums and I would see little teeny tiny baby girls and boys with chemical burn from less expensive diaper brands, I was just like, I'm not gonna risk it. I'll clip coupons and I'll do whatever it is that I have to do so I can go ahead and get the Pampers brand diapers, because they're just the best. And again, the only reason why he had an issue at one point was because I switched the brand of wipes. There are ones that have the little line down the center that turns blue, so you know that when that line turns blue, the baby's wet, and you can go ahead and change them, especially when they're newborns and you're more attentive to those kinds of things and you have to change their diaper a lot more often. I really like that particular diaper, so just wanted to share that with you. So the last thing that I want to share with you is this book. It's called What to Expect in the First Year. I know a lot of us have heard of What to Expect When You're Expecting, which is a great book, but this book is awesome. I'm some people in my family might call me a little bit of a pain in the butt because I don't really like to take the advice of other people if I know they're giving me like very old, outdated advice. You know, what worked for my parents way back when I was a baby is not gonna work necessarily now. But if you're the kind of person that you like looking at sort of science, okay, my battery died. Anyway, what I was saying is I am going to be giving away this Swaddle Me blanket right here. I bought this at Babies R Us last month and it's really cute. It's got little foxes on it. This is size 0 to 3 months, so it's for a newborn. And so one of you will be able to win this. All you have to do is leave a comment down below. Tell me just your name and maybe your Instagram handle or screen name so I can go ahead and send you a direct message when I pick the winner. And that's pretty much it. All you have to do, again, just make sure you're subscribed and that you leave a comment in the comment section. And I will mail this out to you. Now keep in mind, this giveaway has to be within the US only. And you have to be 18 or over. I'll have all the rules and regulations in the description box. You do have to be 18 or over to be a part of the giveaway just because of security reasons and giving out addresses and stuff like that. So please don't enter if you are under the age of 18. And I think that's pretty much it. Again, all the rules will be in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information useful, please make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Friday. Bye. So please leave a note, or what's it called? A comment. I can't think. It's like 10 o'clock. Is it? What time is it? It's 9:23 and I've been up for a long time. Okay. So make sure you subscribe. What was I gonna say? You do also have to be 18 and over, just because, you know, I have to, how do I say this? You do have, battery's dying. No.